Hey y'all, we are at the scenic but not so scenic today reservoir for today's Bible study, and it's really not the ideal place that I really wanted to go. I really wanted to drive down to the coast to do this Bible study, um, but it was just not practical to do that. So I heard this. The inspiration for this Bible study is I was driving to work one morning, and I decided to do some retro Christian music. So I heard this old, or I put on this old Imperial song called "Bread on the Water," which is why I'm doing this, casting the bread on the water. And here comes the here comes the geese. All right, but anyway, the song was inspired by a verse in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 11. It says, "Cast your bread on the waters, for you will find it after many days, or it will come back to you." Now, that's kind of a strange verse. What does that mean? Well, what are you talking about casting your bread on the water? Why are you casting bread on the water other than to feed the geese? Well, the NIV translation kind of gives us a better idea of the meaning of what they were saying or what Solomon was saying in Ecclesiastes. NIV translates it, "Ship your grain across the sea. After many days you will receive a return." Now, personally, I like the King James Version better. Because number one, it fits the song of Imperials, "Cast your bread on the water." And number two, in the original Hebrew, there is no "you may receive a return." In the original Hebrew, it is "you will receive a return." It's a guarantee. Okay, in other words, you will have this return on your investment if you cast your bread on the water. Okay, so what do we have to invest? What was Solomon? What did God inspire Solomon to talk about? What does that mean? It's not talking about material goods, as kind of implied in the NIV. It's talking about making an investment with the gifts and the passions of the Father, what the Father has already given us. Okay. He has given you, according to 1 Corinthians 12, 4 through 6, listen to this. "There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in every one, it is the same God at work." So the Father has created into us, He has made into us talents, gifts, passions, if you want to call it that, so that we can participate in what He is doing in this world, which is redemption, His work of redemption and salvation. So how do we participate? It's not merely by telling the gospel message verbally, although that's certainly part of it, sharing your faith and sharing your experience of what Christ has done for you. That verbal witness is certainly part of it, but it's living out the passions that God has given you, the Father has given us. What passions, what gifts, you may ask? And I'm not talking about the lists of gifts that are given in the Bible, gifts of the Spirit, although those are gifts of the Spirit. A lot of times we don't think about some other things that are gifts of the Spirit. Think about somebody who is very good at drawing or painting. That's a talent. That's a passion. That is a gift. Or somebody who plays an instrument well. Okay, you know, several people in our church that are passionate about their instruments. That is a gift. That's a gift of the Spirit. That's just not something that happens. Okay, acting or singing, or even this, you may be shocked at this, sports. Being able to physically compete is a gift. It's a talent. Sure, you have to develop all of these, okay, but that's a gift that God has given us. And here's one that people hardly ever think about: hospitality. Hospitality is a gift. When you are welcoming to people, when you are accepting to people, when you meet them for the first time and they feel like they are welcome and you've known them for a long time and you just accept them, that is a gift of the Spirit. I mean, there is no other more welcoming being in the entire universe than the Father, and that was shared through His Son, and He has welcomed us into His family. So that idea of hospitality, that is a gift. Okay, I'm thinking about somebody or two people that I've encountered in my life that kind of live this idea out about casting your bread on the water and participating in the passions and the gifts the Father has given them. A man named Mike Reed and his wife, Carolyn. invested years and years into people's lives through Toccoa Wilderness Ministries, even before that in churches, and then after that in churches. And Mrs. Reed has gone on home. God's called her home, and Mr. Reed is still investing. He's still casting his bread on the water. And those investments have come back, okay? They have returned to him. And not just him, but they have spread God's love and grace and mercy all over the United States. There are people living all over the United States that have been impacted by his life through his sharing of his passions, his ministry. So that's what we're called to do, and that's what Solomon's talking about. When you cast your bread upon the water, it's going to come back to you. You're going to see some results. At some point, you're going to see results. Okay, it may not be immediate. It may not even be in this lifetime, but there will be some eternal results. So live your life this way. That's what we're called to do. Consciously being passionate about his passions in you. And you're going to see that return, that eternal return. So keep on casting your bread on the water.